Good morning from the office. I'm BKP, and you're watching Good Morning from the Office. It's live 7 a.m. I want to thank you so much for tuning in, watching, or listening as you're driving. And if you're getting up this morning and just starting your day and getting out of bed and getting moving, and you're looking for that perfect night's sleep, this is always the best time to give this sponsor, which we appreciate them very much here at FetchYourNews.com. Good morning from the office. This is a perfect time of the show to always tell you about our friends over at Mattress Overstock next to Walmart and LJ. Go see Gary, Richard, or Rhonda, the mattress lady. The mattress lady for the best mattress at the best price. They truly want to help you sleep better. So again, good morning from the office, and that's coming to you from Mattress Overstock next to Walmart and LJ, our friends over there. So we always like to start with that one. And we like to tell you, no time like 7 in the morning, start figuring out where you're going to have lunch. And if you're in the Jasper area, today's Thursday Blue Plate special down at the Woodbridge Inn is fried chicken. So if you're down in the Jasper area and you're already at 7 o'clock in the morning planning lunch, go to the Woodbridge Inn in Jasper. Now we're going to start this morning. I'm BKP. If you have something this morning and you want to be involved in the show, or you want to comment on something we talk about today, please go to the bottom of your screen. You'll see Chief at FetchYourNews.com. That's Chief at FetchYourNews.com. Send us something. Let us know how we're doing, what you think, and get involved in the show. Good morning from the office. We want to say a couple brief things before we start. We want to thank our sponsors out there every day. We want to thank our listeners and viewers. We're in our 4th week of doing the show. It grows every day. Got a message from Florida, said they had a home, and that's always exciting. They have a home in Blue Ridge, and they're down in Florida, and they watch Good Morning from the office, so we thank you down there. We get several messages. The show is growing. Let me tell you, we need you to do a couple things. If you like this show and you want this show to grow, I tell you every morning I'm the producer. I make the coffee. I have started coming in and just turning on the broadcast. I don't do anything. I turn the music up, and it's called Behind the Scenes from the Office. So if you're ever up a little earlier than 7 o'clock and you want to see what I'm doing here to get ready for the show, go ahead and click on, and you'll be able to see what I call Behind the Scenes from the Office. We need our sponsors, but what we need is we need you to go out, and we need you to tell our sponsors you see us, you see them on Fetch Your News. We need you to thank the sponsors. If you know people out there and you're within our listening and viewing audience this morning that could help. Reality is, I don't believe the old saying is beat around the bush. There's revenue needed to produce our show, to run our business. So we need you to go out there and tell every sponsor you see them on Fetch Your News or Good Morning from the Office. Or if you know advertisers or small businesses, go say, hey, these people really support small business. Tell them they need to get on Fetch Your News. And last but not least, we have always put up for those out there that just say, hey, how can we help out? And because we're not advertisers and we don't have a small business, but we'd be glad to help out, because at FetchYourNews.com we do not charge a subscription. All of our content is currently free for your use at any time. So if you want to go on, there is a donation button. So if you want to give something in support of FetchYourNews.com or Good Morning from the Office, there is a donation button. So I thank you for that time, and we'll get started here. We have so much news from around the area, and you need to call everybody and tell them, hey, you want to listen this morning or watch. We got a lot of news from the area. We're not taking any callers because we want to get to so many things. We're going to start with our national first, and the reason I want to do that is because when we get on Gilmer and we start talking about the penetrating radar around the community pool and department heads, and when we get on Fannin County and we start talking about the Board of Commissioners and their department heads, and we start talking about the city of Blue Ridge, we're going to probably spend some time this morning. So we're going to do our national news first, and we want you to stay with us, and we call this our Senator Keep Up with David Perdue. And I'll tell you, I followed the U.S. Senate campaign in Georgia very close. And I think you guys know out there I did. And Fetcher News, we tried to keep you information flowing as that campaign was going. Our new senator in the state of Georgia, David Perdue. And I had an opportunity to interview the senator several times. So we want to keep an eye on what Senator Perdue is doing. Now, I'll tell you why. Is during the campaign, he said he was the outsider, okay? He was the outsider, all right? And I stood, and I'm talking to libertarian friends out there for a minute. I stood down here in Canton 3 days before the election, and I heard Texas Senator, State Senator, U.S. Senator Ted Cruz. I heard Texas U.S. Senator Ted Cruz tell a crowd of people, and he said, I want to especially speak to my libertarian friends here. Vote for David Perdue, but keep him accountable. And I just thought that day, you know what? Okay, we're going to keep an eye on it, see what Mr. Perdue is doing. So the senator sent out yesterday, and we're excited about the passage of the Keystone Pipeline. Many of you online probably have already heard, but the House passed it 270 to 152, and the Senate 62 to 36. So for those of you out there saying, you know what, we want Congress to work. We don't want it to be dysfunctional. Well, 62-36 from the Senate and 270 to 152 from the House. The Keystone Pipeline is now going to be on the desk of the President of the United States. So we're going to see, this is going to be not the big test, but it's time for the President to sign or veto the Keystone Pipeline legislation. So that came from David Perdue's office. But here's one that I'm especially excited to bring to you this morning, and I'll tell you why. Because you heard me say a couple of times that I was giving the Senator Perdue a pass, and I'll say it lightly, and one of these days I'll explain, a pass on voting for Mitch McConnell as majority leader. And I don't want to get bogged down into that. But it's votes like this or statements like this that I was looking for out of the senator, and I know many of you out there were. So Senator David Perdue opposes Attorney General nominee Loretta Lynch. Now, this is exciting news this morning. You might say, well, it's 7 o'clock. I can't take this much excitement at 7 a.m. in the morning. But U.S. Senator David Perdue today announced that he will oppose the nomination of Loretta Lynch for Attorney General. Now, what is big about that is Eric Holder. I don't want to get into it. Eric Holder it's just a disgrace what's taking place, okay, and what an Attorney General's office is supposed to be versus what Eric Holder has turned it into with the Constitution. Now, let me give you Mr. Perdue, Senator Perdue's statement. While Ms. Lynch may have an impressive resume, he's polite, she did not adequately answer the committee's questions nor alleviate my concerns about her consistency with which she applies our nation's laws. After thorough review of her record and testimony, I am not confident she will defend the Constitution, especially when the President seeks to abuse his power. We need an Attorney General who will maintain independence and will put the law above partisan politics. I strongly disagree with her support of the President's executive action on amnesty, which is both unlawful and unconstitutional. Ultimately, Mrs. Lynch's actions and answers did not demonstrate that she will consistently enforce the law and uphold our Constitution. So that is from your new Senator, David Perdue, and that is on our Senator Watch of Senator Perdue. And we are watching Senator Isaacson, and I'll have a brief comment before we move out of our national discussion on the senator. That is probably what a lot of you, that's the kind of stuff a lot of you were waiting on to see, because I'm going to tell you, if you're on the email list of a lot of these senators and congressmen, you know, they'll send you emails all day long where they're bipartisan, they sign on, they co-sign on to this bill and that bill. and sometimes it's totally worthless. No disrespect to the congressmen or senators. It's just worthless, just stuff that, looks good. They signed on to it. But when the rubber meets the road, you want to see action out there, and you want to see what these people will do concerning the Constitution and the erosion of the Constitution here. I don't want to say recently, because recently could be 10 minutes ago, for years with this administration and many more. But David Perdue opposes Attorney General Lynch, Loretta Lynch, for Attorney General. I was waiting for that to come out. Thank you, Senator Perdue, for keeping a campaign promise to uphold the Constitution with the Attorney General. So let's see what everybody else in the Senate does where Loretta Lynch is concerned and what we're going to do with the Attorney General. If you have a comment on that this morning, go to chief@fetchernews.com. Go to chief at, send me an email at chief@fetchernews.com. Follow us on Twitter, #GoodMorningFYN. Before we move further, let me say it's getting close to Valentine's Day, and the Clock Tower Gifts and Boutique, located in Jasper, has Valentine's Day covered, guys. They have it covered. That's the Clock Tower Gift and Boutique. Guys, you can pick up that perfect gift for someone special, Pandora, Waxing Poetic, and much more. Also, find them on Facebook. All right, and see what all they got going on. Find them on Facebook. Okay, we're going to get into our local news just a minute, but you want to tell everybody, because we want to talk about the $5 million investment in the city of Blue Ridge that will not be happening. You may not want that kind of investment if you're a city in the city of Blue Ridge right now. Citizen in the city of Blue Ridge right now. You might not want. I mean, every investment in your city is not always a positive, but we're going to break that down in a minute. We're going to also look at Gilmer County and what's going on with their department heads and their county pool. But I brought this to you yesterday. I want to discuss it real quick. The FCC net neutrality plan. Okay, it's drawing fire now. We didn't break this news, but I will say a friend of mine, Dave Meadows, at lunch the other day, asked me if I had seen this, and he sent me, and I want to say a shout out. I appreciate Mr. Meadows. And while I'm on that, I want to thank each and every one of you that send me information throughout the day, research from all over. I don't have a research department. You are my research department, and if you send me something, I will look into it. And Mr. Meadows sent me the FCC net neutrality plan, and this is, we put this up yesterday, and we started talking about the Wall Street Journal. This is on the Wall Street Journal. FCC net neutrality plan draws fire from within. This is the Wall Street Journal. A Republican member of the Federal Communications Commission on Tuesday criticized the agency's chairman in his plan for broadband internet regulation, reflecting the hardening partisan line surrounding the proposal. Okay. It's aimed, this is the plan from FCC Chairman Tom Wheeler. The plan by FCC Chairman Tom Wheeler, released last week, is aimed at preventing broadband providers from blocking, slowing down, or speeding up specific websites in exchange for payment. So if you pay, and I don't want to get into, there's a lot of pages here, they're going to stop them from blocking, slowing down, or speeding up specific websites in exchange for payment. So if you pay the price, maybe your website will move faster. If you pay the price, maybe your website won't be blocked. Now that's going into details. That full story is on the Wall Street Journal this morning to be read. I'm going to say Mr. Pai repeatedly, and he referred to the FCC's proposals rules as President Obama's plan to regulate the internet. They're actually calling this, they say it parallels, I apologize, they say it parallels Obamacare, parallels, having trouble with parallels, right? It parallels Obamacare, and I'm telling you right now, this is the internet. And if you're watching me this morning or listening to Good Morning from the Office, or if you're listening to your internet radio, or whatever you're doing throughout your day, You want to pay attention to this. You want to, and as we were on our Senator Watch earlier, you want to call Doug Collins's office. You want to send an email to the Congressman Collins's office. You want to send an email to Congressman Graves or whoever your congressman is this morning. This is an emergency for some points. People might think, well, wait a minute, I've got a lot more things that are higher on the priority. You know, in America, what happens all too often in our country is we let these things go, and we don't seem to think they're priorities or emergencies or something you need to deal with now until you just get up one day and click on the internet and say, well, wonder why that is. Well, I say put your phone down and pay attention. Put your phones down and pay attention. I am guilty. We're a society of carrying a phone. We don't even look up. We look down. We walk. Put your phones down for a minute and pay attention, because you're going to have issues if they take over the internet. The internet needs to be free. So I'm telling you this morning, call David Perdue's office, Senator Perdue, send him an email. Johnny Isaacson, send him an email. If you're in Florida and you're listening, send your senators an email or your congressman, wherever you're at this morning. The FCC taking over the internet behind closed doors. This is a problem. Now, I brought you, this is from Brett Bart. This is on brettbart.com. I cruise the internet. I find stuff on the Washington Post. And Republican FCC chairman, Republican commissioner, said that proposed internet regulation mimics Obamacare, both in process and substance, was adopting a solution that won't work to a problem that doesn't exist, using legal authority we don't have. They don't have. It'd be billions of dollars, would lead to billions of dollars in new taxes. Now, I would take up 2 hours of a show if I broke into these subjects and really got deep. Looking for a producer from 6 to 8, Monday through Friday, to help organize this. But if you're out there this morning and you're looking at the internet, type in FCC in your search this morning, net neutrality, and see. Now, this is the Federal Communications Commission. Right here, it's their news, the Federal Communications Commission. And this, I want to thank Dave Meadows for sending me a statement of the FCC Commissioner on President Obama's plan to regulate the internet. We told you yesterday it's 332-page plan. Now, if you turned on your news this morning, there's a lot of stuff. It's very important. You're going to hear about Yemen, and you're going to hear how our soldiers or our people over there were told, our military was told to, bash all their weapons, and there's so many things going on there, and get out of there. You're going to hear all that. But if you turn on, Brian Williams is not there anymore. If you turn on the news this morning, if they're not telling you about this, you need to find out. The FCC 332-page plan to regulate the internet. First, President Obama's plan marks a monumental shift towards government control of the internet. Okay, it will increase consumers' monthly broadband bills, because they're gonna. If you don't want things to slow down, your carriers will be able to charge you more for the broadband service so it doesn't slow down. Now, that's just me saying that. There's a lot in there. I don't want to get it incorrect. So that is my discussion this morning. I brought you from the LA Times yesterday, net neutrality proposed from the agency's chairman as a secret plan to regulate the internet. Now, the reason I say this to you this morning so many times over and over, sorry to be redundant, sorry to keep pounding it home, but if you are listening to Good Morning from the Office, if you're watching Good Morning from the Office, if you would like for things like our show and many others to continue to grow, you'll do something about this and get involved and call your friends, because the internet you're listening to now, they're not going to keep for free. Okay, you're not going to be able to just click on things, and people like myself will not be able to bring you information. You need to get in an uproar about this morning. Not for me, okay, not for Good Morning from the Office, not for FetcherNews.com, not for me, for you, the citizens out there. So we've discussed that. We're going to move along here. And I'm trying to keep a pace. Some of our listeners, I'll share with you, if we're in week 4 and you're listening every day and are watching, then I owe it to you to tell you a little bit of what we got going on around here, because you're part of the family. So sometimes I had a listener, and I need your help. Send it to me. And I had a listener, someone that listens in the car, says, well, sometimes you get stuck and you keep saying the same thing over and over. For those of you out there listening, what happens when I do that, I'm looking for my next segment or looking for a piece of paper that I'm trying to organize, and I have to keep things going. So I apologize sometimes if I just keep sounding like a broken record on some things. Moving along here, we do a shout out this morning for one of the best hair care salons in North Georgia. Go to Magic Touch Beauty Salon, located at Clock Tower 3 on Maddox Drive in LJ. Open 6 days a week from 8 to 6. Go to Magic Touch for Matrix and other must-have products for the special touch you need for great hair care. Remember, go to Magic Touch for that special touch. You can contact them at 706-635-5325. 706-635-5325. That's Magic Touch Beauty Salon at Clock Tower 3 on Maddox Drive. I want to give a little shout out. I got a couple messages, and we thank you so much. That lets me know you're listening and watching from some Coosawhattie River Resort viewers. And you know, I want to say that the Coosawhattie River Resort viewers, we've appreciated you in the last 4 years at FetcherNews.com and some of the messages many of the residents have sent us. I just want to be clear that I received a couple messages, and when you send me things and ask me about reporting things in the Coosawhattie, I know you know this as residents, but that's a private gated community. And Nydia Tisdale yesterday was with us. She's a citizen journalist. She's a citizen journalist, and she has sent me the Citizen's Guide to Open Government. Okay, that's the Citizen's Guide to Open Government, and we're going to be putting that on our website. But we also talked about the difference of private property and open meetings that the public can attend. Now, if you're listening this morning in the Coosawhattie River Resort and you would like to become a citizen journalist, you as a resident and as an association member, you have the right out there. Fetcher News can't come to your board meetings. We can't do that unless we're invited in by them. So for those of you that send us messages, it's not that we're ignoring any news that you have in your association, but we're limited to what we can do, but you're not. So if you're out there and you're a resident at Coosawhattie River Resort and you want to become a citizen journalist, you do have some association rights. So contact me at chief@FetcherNews.com, and we could talk about how you can get your news on FetcherNews.com. So we thank you to all of our Coosawhattie River Resort friends, viewers, and listeners out there. We've talked about the FCC Internet and ObamaNet. Seen this morning, government spending is up 8.3% from last year. Don't we love that? I want to talk, stay with us, please. I'm telling you, call your friends. We're going to get to the city of Blue Ridge. There's a lot to talk about. You don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss things on Gilmer County. You do not. We're kindly holding that because it's going to get a little lengthy, and we'll move a lot faster on some of the things. I heard something this morning. I want to know from you. Send me a message. 2/3 of Americans still think we're in a recession. Somebody said that. I heard it on a newscast this morning. This one got me this morning. The IRS apologizes for seizing bank accounts of small businesses. I'd like for you to listen to those words close. The IRS apologizes for seizing bank accounts of small businesses. Oh, pressured by Congress, the IRS said Wednesday it is changing its policies and apologizing for seizing bank accounts from otherwise law-abiding business owners simply because they structured bank transactions to avoid federal reporting requirements. Their alleged crime routinely make bank deposits of less than $10,000 that allowed the business owner to avoid reporting requirements designed to catch drug dealers and money launderers. Now, at FetcherNews.com, good morning from the office, we want to say we will support anything that will catch drug dealers, okay? But this one, you do these things. You do things out there in your business. You do things out there in this fashion, you go to jail. You get brought up on a crime. How long are you, the American people, are going to allow agencies like the IRS to apologize half-heartedly? So we're sorry. Apologize. Look, I'm telling you right now, let me explain this and I'll move on. If you make a deposit, small businesses know this, and a lot of small businesses are cash businesses and they do cash deposits. The IRS has it set up that banks, that I'm pretty sure I got this correct, but if you go in and you make a cash deposit of over $10,000, $10,000 plus, you have to fill out a form and report that you've made a cash deposit at the bank, and the bank in turn sends that to the IRS that your account made a cash deposit. Now you make $30,000 a week in cash deposits over $10,000, you know, and the IRS picks up and says, hey, that's a lot of cash. But you can go over this morning and make a bank deposit of $3,000. You can go over there and make a bank deposit of $9,800. You don't have to fill out the paperwork. So what the IRS did is they seen some small businesses, small business, backbone of this country. I knew I wouldn't get along. I said this morning when I came in, I said it's 7:27. I said I'm not going to get wound up today. I'm going to keep my calm and I'm just going to report and read. I'm not going to get wound up. And it took till 7:27. Small business is a backbone of this country. Absolutely. Backbone of this country. More people work for small business than anything else in this country. And the IRS is apologizing for seizing legal small business accounts. Seizing them. If you're within my voice or watching, pay attention. Seizing bank accounts. You know why? Because they deposited $7,500 two times in a week. And they just thought, you know, maybe it's not breaking the law because the law is $10,000. That's the regulation, $10,000. So they're not breaking the law here. They're putting in $8,500, but we've seen them do it a couple of times. So we're just going to, hey, let's seize this account. We need to take a closer look just because we don't have nothing to do this afternoon. People, stop letting the IRS apologize. Okay, I'm okay with apologizing. I'm okay with people making a mistake. That happens. But stop letting things like the IRS apologize after being forced, pressured by Congress to come up on the Hill. All right, so that's the IRS. If you own a small business and you had your bank account seized, they apologized to you this morning. So that's that. 7:27. That's the official time I got worked up. It's always good between getting worked up to tell you that if you work up an appetite today, go down to the Woodbridge Inn. Thursday, the Blue Plate Special is fried chicken. If you're up in Blue Ridge, because we're going to talk about that Blue Ridge City Council, stay tuned. If you're up in Blue Ridge today, go over to our friends at Ace Hardware Blue Ridge and check out that Amish furniture. They have a full line of Amish furniture they want you to check out. So we looked at the IRS. They apologized. We looked at David Perdue. Senator Johnny Isaacson has announced his candidacy for re-election to Senate. I have an opinion on that. I don't want to release it this time. We do have a candidate that is going to oppose him. That's Derek Grayson. And we're not going to have him on the show now. We've talked to his people a couple times. We're going to wait till that election or that campaign really gets fired up, and we'll bring candidate Derek Grayson on to discuss that campaign as it gets fired up. 2/3 of Americans still think that we're in a recession. Send me a message on that. Send me a message on that and let me know. If you're on FetcherNews.com, always go to our opinion section. And if you have an opinion you want to write, send it to chief@FetcherNews.com. Always go to Gilmer, Fannin, and Pickens. Click through our opinion section. Check it out. And we load up a lot of good weekend reading. There's a lot of stuff on there right now. And if you're questioning some of the House bills, like HB 14, the transportation bill, when we get stuff from Tea Parties around the state and we get opinion pages around the state, we put them on there. And there's some people that's got a lot of good information that you can read and see where they stand, where they stand on the House transportation bill and some of the national issues. Our friend George McClellan, I don't know what else he does besides write, and he likes to put things on the opinion page about 4 days a week, and always something exciting to read from our friend George McClellan. We thank him for his writing about every day. I want to go to HR 14, okay? I want to move to HR 14. I know it's 7:30 and we haven't gotten to any county stuff because we're going to roll through that because we have to stop and we have to work on some things in the county. We have to bring some things up that we have to. So we're rolling through some of the national stuff. Stay tuned. Tell your friends to call them. Tell them to get on Good Morning from the Office. Go to Fetcher News. Click on Good Morning from the Office. We will get to Blue Ridge. We will get to Gilmer County. But stay with me. This is very important. If you're in Blue Ridge, if you're in Jasper, if you're in Pickens County, Gilmer County, Fannin County, McKaysville, if you are a city, if you are a water authority, if you are a DDA, if you are a building authority, economic development authority, I am telling you, when I say yelling, we're talking about the transportation bill. It goes to committee today. Transportation goes to the Transportation Committee today. HR 14 is my understanding. We will get probably plenty of updates for the weekend that we will have next week. But the bill that is not getting talked about, and I had talked to a mayor yesterday, and they hadn't heard about it. So tell me more. Okay? I am shocked. Now, Gilmer County, when we get there, it's on the agenda for today. HR 14. Anybody that's on a water authority board, anybody that's on a city council, you need to call them now and tell them HR 14 they need to take a look at if they don't know about it. Now, what is HR 14? This affects counties, schools, school board, water authorities, the ability to even be able to apply for a grant without approval from General Assembly. Yes, I'm telling you out there. The Georgia House of Representatives is also, and this is from my research department, and you know who you are out there, the Georgia House of Representatives is also back in session, and one of the first bills they plan to consider is Bill 14, House Bill. Please contact your state representative and ask that they vote no. Now, I'm not telling you that. This is the research I got. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you to look into it. Okay, I apologize there. I owe you an apology as listeners and viewers. I was reading that, and this individual is encouraging people to vote no on it, but I here at FetcherNews.com, we want you to read it. Our job is to make you aware of it. So let me just say to you that if you are not paying attention, let me tell you what HB 14 does. No county or local authority, including school districts, shall accept federal funds, that includes loans or grants, in any form for any purpose unless it has been approved expressively and specifically by the General Assembly. Okay? Now, let me tell you some of the problems with that. The General Assembly only meets 44 days per year. So if a county needs to apply for federal funds for some emergency, if the money is received that wasn't approved in advance, the funds shall be paid to the state treasury until such approval can be obtained. And should the General Assembly decide the county shouldn't have such funds, the state would have the right to return the money to the federal government, or maybe it would just sit in the treasury for a few years. Now, H.R. 14, we're working on that a little more this morning because I'm trying to get this out to cities, counties, Board of Education. You cannot apply for federal grants or loans if it's called the Fiscal Accountability Act, and you cannot apply for federal loans or grants if you don't get them approved. Okay? Now, if you have an emergency, we talked to Superintendent of Schools Mark Hinson, okay? And let's say we talked to him the other day. Let's say in our interview there was an emergency, and we talked about that in the interview, and there was an emergency and they needed to apply immediately for a federal loan or grant, money that was put out there for emergency funds so they can do a repair or something. This bill will allow you can go ahead and apply. If you get the grant, you don't get the money. It goes to the state. When the state takes it up in session, when the House, Georgia House takes it up in session, your grant approval will go before them, or your federal loan. If they vote yes, then you'll get the money. That could be 6 months later. If they vote no in the session on your grant or federal loan. Now, I know you don't like when I say this because you don't want to sound like out there that, you know, all of your elected officials are the kind of people that would do this, but this is that winner and loser process. If they vote no and they feel that you're the loser here, they vote no against your district to get the federal money, it then returns to the federal government, or maybe, as it's written here, they could set on it in the general fund. And we all know when money is sit there for the general fund for a couple years, how it tends to get in another bill to be used. Okay, the bill gives total power to the General Assemblies as to which counties can apply for federal assistance and who will get to receive it. So it is the county's legislators. If your county's legislator falls out of favor with your representative, you could have a problem. So H.R. 14, we're going to move along. HB, I'm sorry, I keep saying H.R. and I want to apologize if you're listening or viewing. Slip of the tongue, it's HB, House Bill. House Resolution is just something symbolic. I keep saying H.R., so don't get confused. It's HB 14. And that would not allow, again, that would prohibit you from getting federal grants or loans without the General Assembly's approval. So DDA, city, water authority, county, Board of Education, you better look at it. And I tell you, I was at the other night, and I'm not going to single them out. I'm not going to single them out because they're not the only one. This is 2 pages. Go. I don't know what internet search you're using. I use Google, I guess, so I'll say it. Google. It's what we say now, right? Google Georgia House Bill 14 and just hit search. Okay, it's 2 pages long. It's the Fiscal Accountability Act. Now, the Fiscal Accountability Act, on face value, it sounds good. It sounds good. But another way that Atlanta takes local control away. Local control away. I have often said when traveling on the interstates of this country, it's getting so close that I do not know. Now, don't take me wrong out there. It's getting so close that I don't know why they even put up state highway signs. Welcome to. They are erasing state lines. The federal government's erasing state rights and state lines day in and day out. I'm not against Georgia. I'm not against Atlanta. This is an awesome state, great state. But there's some in Atlanta that are slowly erasing county lines. So local control is getting eroded in this bill, HB 14. You better pay attention. I told you I was not singling them out because I have talked to cities, mayors. I have gone to several people, and I will say Gilmer County Commissioner Charlie Paris has been aware of it, and it's on the agenda today to be talked about at their workshop, the Gilmer County Commissioner's workshop today. But Board of Education the other night, Gilmer County Board of Education, they did a legislative overview because they keep track of legislation during session, and they went through several, and they had the transportation bill there, but there was no HB 14. So I know, broken record, I'm yelling from the highest tree, pay attention to HB 14, please. Okay, we're going to move into that county news you've been waiting for, and you've been calling your friends and telling them to listen. But first, we want to talk about Valentine's Day, and if you're looking for that special Valentine's Day present, birthday gift, or just the right gift for any other special occasion, go to Spa Glisten Inc. at their new location at 242 Old Highway 5 South across from Ellington Road, Tuesday through Thursday from 10 to 6. Get your Valentine's gift certificates today for that special someone. Go to Spa Glisten for unique gifts and spa treatments. Just give them a call at 706-698-2772. 706-698-2772. That is Spa Glisten across from the Ellington Road. We want to thank them for being a sponsor of Good Morning from the Office, and we want you to tell them that you heard this on Good Morning from the Office. Hey, go to LJ Fitness Facebook page. Mark Woodring over at LJ Fitness, they work on there's a lot of little workout videos he's doing with training with some young men in the high school, and they're real enjoyable to watch. So I want to send you over there to Mark Woodring, LJ Fitness. I'm going to say, okay, now I know what you're going to say at Pickens and Gilmer County. I'm not saving the best for last. I try to jumble it up. Whoever has the top story, we work on that in the county, or whatever the leading story is we need to report. So I don't save the best for last, but if you're out there, we're going to work on Fannin County last. Pickens County. If you're out there in Pickens County and you have news, please send it to us, or if you have information or notices or things going on in your community that we need to get out there and announce for you, please send it to Chief at fetchernews.com. That's Chief. I think I'll take a drink of water on that one. Pickens County, you have a Board of Education meeting tonight at 6:30. Those are held in the Pickens County Board Conference Room, School Board Conference Room. Again, Board of Education meeting tonight at 6:30. We have been telling you, because we want to always support you guys getting out and playing. Pickens Park and Rec baseball, softball, and t-ball signups are going on now. If you'll just go to Pickens Park and Rec baseball Park and Rec website, you will get all their information on their signups. Their forms are there to sign up. You can print out a form, have it all ready to go. That's Pickens Park and Rec. Baseball, softball, and t-ball signups are going on now. I forget the date, but I think at the end of March. When you get into March, there's a late fee, so avoid that and get that done now. We always like to say fun. Check out fun at the Pickens Library. If you go to fetchernews.com, you go down through there, there's a community section. There's a lifestyle section. If you have things in your community you need to get in there and you need to get out there for people to look at, please send it to us. But we always like to highlight our local libraries. And if you'll check our community section, you will see, click on there, and there's a full list of fun at the Pickens Library. Hey, you know, our hats off to the Dragons. We always support our young people. Basketball season ended for the Dragons in a tough fashion. That's R.J. Casey's words. If you go to fetchernews.com, Pickens County, and you go to sports, you will see RJ's article, and he has some final stats for the season. And they fell to Cartersville in the 7 Quad A region tournament, 60-29. So they did end in a tough fashion. But we're going to give a shout out to Shannon Brooks, who finished the season, his career as a Dragon, 1,004 points. Basketball. So not only a football player, he has given the Pickens Dragons in his high school career 1,004 career points, so a shout out to him. The Netties defeated Cartersville. Cartersville, you got yours. You might have had roughed up the Dragons, but the Netties came and roughed up Cartersville 48-42, and they will play Friday. This is the 7 Quad A region tournament. The Netties defeated Cartersville 48-42, and they will play Friday they will play Northwest Whitfield Friday, so come out and support the Netties at 4 o'clock, and that region tournament's being held at Southeast Whitfield. So don't get confused. They're playing Northwest Whitfield at 4 o'clock Friday, but that's at Southeast Whitfield. Okay, so that's Pickens, and again, if we have anything that you need to get on there, send it to chief@fetchernews.com. Let's move to Gilmer County, and as we're rolling along here, we appreciate you. If you are 746, you're watching Good Morning from the Office. I am BKP, and if you want to follow us on Twitter, that's at Fetch Your News, hashtag Good Morning from the Office. Also, hit us up for sports at Team FYN Sports. Anything out there going on, it's getting baseball season, soccer season, tennis, all the spring sports are getting ready to hit. I know it's February, and they're all practicing now, getting ready to go. So if there's things in your spring sports lineup, Pickens, Fannin, or Gilmer County, send that to LT@FetcherNews.com, LT@FetcherNews.com, and follow us at Team FYN Sports, hashtag Team FYN Sports. Let's give you've had 46 minutes. If you got up at 7, you started watching this show, and if you still are saying, I did not get that perfect night's sleep, I have friends. Go over there and tell them. I have friends at Mattress Overstock, and I want to introduce you to my friends. So go next to Walmart and LJ, go see Gary, Richard, or Rhonda, the mattress lady, for the best mattress at the best price. They truly want to help you sleep better. Go over there, check them out. Tell the mattress lady you heard this on Good Morning from the Office, FetchYourNews.com. Gilmer County, take another drink of water. It's going to take another drink of water to do Gilmer County. Gilmer County today, you have a workshop at 1. So that's the workshop for Gilmer County Commissioners. Commissioners have their workshop at 1 o'clock. They hold that in the Commissioners Conference Room in the Commissioner Building, and that's not in the courthouse. So 1 o'clock today will be the workshop for the Board of Commissioners of Gilmer County. If you go to FetcherNews.com, Gilmer County, you will be able to go to the legal section, click on legal, and you will see the agenda for the workshop, and then you'll see the agenda for the regular called meeting, monthly meeting. So that's Gilmer County. Also, 6 p.m. tonight in the jury room of the Gilmer County Courthouse is the monthly Gilmer County Commissioners meeting. So that is 6 p.m. regular meeting, jury room of the courthouse, Gilmer County regular meeting. Now, on the agenda, I want to cover a couple things, and I put this on Facebook. And I want to explain, because if you're out there and you click on it and you start looking at the agenda, you might wonder why some things are going to be discussed. Now, first of all, on the agenda is House Bill 170 and House Bill 14 that we discussed. So if you're out there today and you're interested in what do my commissioners, that's Travis Crouch, Dallas Miller, and Dallas Miller, Post 1, Travis Crouch, Post 2, and Charlie Paris, Chairman of the Commission. If you're interested on the three of them, what they think in the discussion of the workshop of House Bill 170, the Transportation Bill, and House Bill 14, show up today because they're going to discuss it. So you can see what they think on the local level. Now, there's something on the agenda I want to go into some minor detail. And I did not pull, if you're listening out there, I did not pull the facts. And what I mean is what I'm about to tell you is the story, but I didn't pull some numbers and dates. And so what I'm about to tell you is a general wrap-up of what this means. If you've seen on the agenda for Gilmer County, ground penetrating radar for the pool area. So you have went to Gilmer County and you see today's agenda says ground penetrating radar. Now, what does that mean? Why are they going to discuss ground penetrating radar around the pool? I'll tell you why. A couple of years back, I'm going to throw 2011. This is where the facts, okay? So you get off here and you start saying, oh, he got this wrong or he got it. So I'm going to try to stay general somewhere around, and I'm going to say their name is Sunbelt Pools, okay? There was a major problem with the pool, the leak. We were losing water. The pool needed a repair. I'm going to say it's in the area of $80,000. The community pool down here behind the community center, oh, that's the one. Let me always remind you, I think I'll use that. That is the $1.3 million renovated community center, Gilmer County Community Center. Anyhow, you paid for it. But the pool needed $80,000 worth of repairs, okay, the county pool. And it's 2011, Sunbelt Pools, I think, did the repair. New filter system, new pump system. I mean, water was leaking profusely around the rim, whatever. So we paid $80,000. Now, the pipe between the pool, the deep end, at the bottom of the deep end, there was a major leak. Let's not get into those. From the pool to the filter, the pipe was vibrating in there, I guess. And Sunbelt did not come back and repair that. And for quite some time, we were getting, and when I say we, I mean, because for you out there, we cover news all over, but I do live in Gilmer County. So when I say we were losing thousands of gallons of water. This is after the repair. Gilmer County Community Pool was losing thousands of gallons of water. Well, no disrespect, but the chairman at that time, Chairman Sanford, him and the Park and Rec director and whatever, I guess Jody Cantrell, I don't know their discussion, so I'm not going to get the park director involved in this. But I don't know if we don't know if the chairman just thought the water bill was high. The sewer bill was in the thousands of dollars. So, the chairman went over and met with the water authority and one thing after another. Now, come to find out, let's fast forward here because I don't have all the details. We end up finding out for a long period of time that this pipe had a massive leak. Now, picture the pool. If any of you have been over to the pool, all right, and looked at the quantity of water and the size of that pool refilled itself. I'm pretty sure the numbers were when I did the math. That pool refilled itself 4 complete times. Yes, 4 complete times. Picture the size of the pool. I forget how many thousands of gallons that are in that thing. 200 and some thousand. That's what I say. I have the numbers from a report way back, so I don't want people sending me and attacking me that I got it off by 1,000, whatever. The pool completely drained itself through a leak 4 entire times. It refilled itself 4 times. Okay? Before it was dug up, if you go up there, you'll see a fresh cut where they dug it up and they repaired the pipe. Okay? Now, discussion, the water made its way out, worked its way out. Water finds, anytime you have a leak, water finds an exit point. That's the end of that sentence. I'm telling you, water does not stop until it finds an exit point. So, Why are they going to use ground penetrating radar for your community pool? Because we don't want to alarm you, but we want to see, I say we, I do. I know a lot of citizens have called me, so that's the reason I use the tense that I do when I say we. And we want to see here at FetchYourNews.com, we want to see how much erosion is under the shell of that pool. Is there hollow pockets under that pool that need to be addressed? There's 1 million gallons plus of water. So I want to say immediately, I guess I'm going to say thank you. I think a lot of citizens are, because yes, it's February. Next thing you know, you got March, April, May. And if anything under that pool is substandard and could be a safety issue in any way to the citizens, my hat's off for being proactive in the situation with the Gilmer County Commissioner saying, hey, we want to go down there. Now, I don't know. Okay, the meeting is today. Okay, so nobody has told me. I just seen ground penetrating radar around the pool. The meeting is today, so you'll find out today. I'll find out. But hats off for the commission to be proactive way before the pool opens to see what's under that pool and if there's an issue there with any hollow spots under that pool. So if you see ground penetrating radar for the pool, I'm pretty sure that's what that means on the agenda. So send me your messages, or tell me everywhere I got it wrong, or tell me what you think about the pool emptying out 4 times. Tell me if you think it's not a big deal. I'm open to listening. Send it to me, okay? The appointment of department heads. I want to cover that one a little bit too in Gilmer County, because that also is in Fannin. So stay tuned for our Fannin report on department heads in Fannin County. But appointment of department heads. Now, what the previous what the previous administration in Gilmer County did, which Chairman Sanford, when a department head left, okay, the way the charter of Gilmer County is written, if a new department head is not in place, okay, then that department reports to the chairman. Now, what does all that mean? Okay, what does all that mean? Gilmer County changed its charter, okay, and this was the speculation. So we'll go with the speculation because this is what happened, but you can draw your conclusion. Gilmer County changed the charter back when Post Commissioner Will Beatty was there, and Commissioner Hall, and there was a lot of people being upset about department heads being hired and dismissed. Only the chairman could do that. Okay, now most of your post commissioners, I say most of your post commissioners in your county, respect if you have a county, and we can't break this down. There are several ways to operate your county. Fannin County and Gilmer County and Pickens County have the same operation structure, to where your commissioner is the CEO of the county. You don't have a county manager, your commissioner is. So that is a specific a specific election for your chairman. Your chairman is the CEO of your county. Your chair commissioner, your CEO of the county. Now, saying that, in the past charter of Gilmer County, your chairman was in charge totally of hiring and dismissing department heads. Well, you know what? Your post commissioner said, you know what, you run the day-to-day operations of the county, but when it comes to department heads, we would like to be in the loop of the hiring and dismissing of the department head. You know, not the day-to-day, but the department head. So the charter in Gilmer County was changed, I'm going to say 2012. I'll say 2012. It was changed to where the commissioners now had a say, your post commissioners had a say in your department head appointments and your department head dismissals. But when a department head was removed or left, they left, it was up to the chairman of the county to put it on the agenda to appoint a new one. if the chairman, if you did not have an official department head in your county, let's say over Park and Rec, let's say over Planning and Zoning, highway, your road department, if you did not have a department head, then that department fell fully under the authority of the chairman. Post commissioners had no rights. So it was the speculation of many that most of the department heads were not replaced in Gilmer, because the former Chairman Sanford wanted to control those departments. That's where we're at. So on the agenda today, that's why I bring that up, why that's important in Gilmer County today. It seems to be all indications that your Gilmer County Board now, with Travis Crouch, Dallas Miller, and Chairman Paris, they seem to be more interested in the structure, organization, streamlining government, and getting these department heads to be responsible for their departments and making them accountable. So tonight, I think if you're interested out there, you may want to go to the Gilmer County Commissioners meeting tonight at 6. They'll discuss this in a workshop, and you will hear how it's going to happen. But at 6 o'clock tonight, if you are interested on how Gilmer County plans to go forward with department heads, who will be appointed, and who's going to be held accountable, you can go and watch that. Tonight at 6 o'clock. So we will be there with a video camera also, so you can watch it if you can't make it. That's department heads. Today is the Chamber of Commerce Network Lunch in Gilmer County. Gilmer County's Chamber of Commerce Network Lunch is 11:30 today at Harrison Hall. Don't miss that. It's a great time to network with people. Chamber Network Lunch, 11:30 Harrison Hall. Today at 5:30 in Gilmer County, the Board of Education meeting will be Board of Education meeting at the Administrative and Technology Office. That's the big building on the corner over here of Industrial, and that's today at 5:30. We will have that live for you, so if you want to watch the Board of Education Gilmer County today and you're not able to make it, we will have that live at fetchyournews.com. Go to fetchyournews.com, Gilmer County, look for the big picture. It says Gilmer Board of Education live at 5:30. I apologize if I've said a different time. Live at 5:30. We'll have that for you. Also, I want to give a big shout out to those Lady Cats. Round 2 of Region 7 Quad A tournament. That's 7 p.m. They will play Heritage. They're in round 2. And again, don't get confused. They're playing Heritage, but if you want to go over and support the Lady Cats, that's at Southeast Whitfield is where they're holding that 7 Quad A tournament. Lady Cats, round 2, 7 o'clock, Friday night, Heritage, be there. And if you can't, follow it on Twitter, hashtag Team FYN Sports. Follow us at Fetch Your News, hashtag Team FYN Sports. We'll have scores and highlights. So we're going to move on to Fannin County. I know that's what you've been waiting for out there, the city of Blue Ridge. We had so many calls yesterday, so many emails, so many messages. When will that meeting be online? That went through the roof. When we do live, let me explain to you that somebody said to me, can we see our viewers? When we do a live stream of one of the meetings, we see IP addresses, okay? We see IP addresses, and just like, you know, the TV says, when they monitor the TV and they say, well, if we have one household and we average, you know, 2.5 people watched or whatever, so we get IP addresses, and the other night, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 days for them to process, but right off the bat, we had almost 200 IP addresses, and if we times that by 2, I'm going to say 500 or 600 people watched. 500 or 600 people watched the city council meeting in Blue Ridge the other night, and we appreciate that, our viewers. So we've gotten a lot of emails. We're going to get moved on to that. While we're talking about Blue Ridge, Amish Furniture, where is that? Ace Hardware, Blue Ridge. Go check out their full line of Amish furniture. We want to give another shout out to Clock Tower Gifts and Boutique, located in Jasper. Has all of your Valentine's Day covered, guys. You can pick out that perfect gift for someone special. Pandora, Waxing Poetic, and much more. Also find them on Facebook and look for their exciting new contests on Facebook. But that is the Clock Tower Gift and Boutique. Tell all of our sponsors, please, that you've seen us, you've seen their name, heard their name on FetcherNews.com. Good morning from the office. And if you're down there shopping at the Clock Tower, stroll down the street to the Woodbridge Inn for their Blue Plate Special Thursday Fried Chicken. Now for Fannin County. If you're watching, I bring this stack of paperwork over. Hey, you know, I love doing this show. We're in week 4. I love it. I need a producer. I need help getting this thing organized. We can get a lot more done. We can get you a lot more information. If you're interested in helping with the show, chief at FetcherNews.com, or if you're a citizen journalist out there and you want to learn more and get more, it's Fetch Your News. Then let me know and let us help you out so we can get this broadcast into 2 hours. It's 8:06 and we're getting into Fannin County. That's not too bad. It's only took me an hour and 6 minutes. I'm not laughing. I get to where on Fannin County, I don't know where to start, and that's the city of Blue Ridge. So let's start at the Fannin County. Today at 6 o'clock. Today at 6 o'clock is the Fannin County Board of Education meeting. Your regular monthly meeting is at the central office. That's the day at 6 o'clock. Mark Henson, superintendent of Fannin County Schools, we did an interview with him a couple days ago about the importance of eSPLOS. You have that coming up, a special election. Renewing eSPLOS, we did a interview with him. It's online, Fannin County, FetcherNews.com, and we also talked to him about House Bill 170. And we're for sure they'll be talking, their board will be talking a lot tonight. Board of Education, 6 p.m., Fannin County at the central office. Fannin Board of Commissioners, that video is now online. We were over at the Fannin County Board of Commissioners the other night, and there's a story we have up there now that charter changes, hiring and firing. So if you go to Fannin County, FetcherNews.com, check out the big screen with the commissioners' pictures that started out hiring and firing, now full commission board. So let me give you a little highlight. The story, if you sometimes you say where's the video, we're gonna get our videos in a more organized fashion for you to find them faster. We're working on that now. But right now, if you go to that story and you did not get to the Fannin County Commissioners meeting the other night, you will be able to see the full meeting. That video is now online. Along with that is the Board of Commissioners have been working in Fannin County to get charter changes. I talked to you a little bit about Gilmer earlier on their Gilmer County on their charter changes for department heads. And let me make sure I'm clear on something, because, you know, I say all the time, these are small communities. I got nothing against these people. They give their time. I always thank all candidates for their willingness to serve their community. I hear things. I go to meetings. I sit in the back of the room. Now, if I hear anything more than, you know, I hear that Chairman Simons, you know, that position's powerful, okay? And the argument I hear, and Chairman, this is what I hear, Chairman Simons, this is only what I hear, and I always will give the chairman, I see if I give him an opportunity to talk about that next week. Maybe Chairman Simons, if you're listening, I want to give you an opportunity to call and discuss this, because I hear that, you know, the chairman doesn't share information with the Post, and I've heard Post commissioners, and there's only 2, so you can guess. You're in Fannin County. Is it Earl Johnson or Larry Joe Sosby? But I hear commissioners tell me, you know, hey, you got a 50-50 chance on who it is, or maybe both of them, that, hey, they show up, and that's when they find out, and they'll use his name. That's when they find out what Bill's going to let them know. Hey, that's not from me. That's not from Good Morning from the Office. That's from your Post commissioners. Now, Fannin County has low tax rate. Fannin County has economic recovery has gone well in Fannin County. There's been some upsides. Fannin County is strong. Their debt, they're not in a whole mound of debt. So there's two sides, obviously. So I'd like for, if you're listening out there, I'll reach out. I'd like for Chairman Simons to come on maybe next week, talk to me about this. Now, what did they do in that meeting? And that article is up online. Is they've been working on local legislation, and in the local legislation, they want to make a charter change, much like Gilmer did, that they want the post commissioners, okay, to be involved in the hiring and dismissal of department heads. Send me your opinion. We've talked about that this morning. Send me your opinion, chief@fetchernews.com, or on our Facebook page. Look for our dog of the day. Our Facebook page. Send me your opinion on whether you think, I want to stop right here. I want to know from you out there whether you think post commissioners, okay, should be involved in the hiring and dismissal of department heads. Got it? That's that simple. Should, and I'm repeating myself for you to drive in, I want to just clear up the question. Should post commissioners be involved in the hiring and dismissal of department heads? That decision. That's out there for you, because that's what you're asking in Fannin County. Now there will be 2 weeks, and we will get that from the commissioner's office. It will be posted for 2 weeks in your legal organ. FetcherNews.com will have posted a notification to the citizens that you want to change the charter. These are the rules. There'll be 2 publications of public notice to the citizens that you want to change the charter. There will be 2 public hearings. Okay? There'll be 2 public hearings on you want to change the charter. Now, I'm not saying this is happening, but watch for this. They may have already announced, but I have seen them do a public hearing at 4 o'clock, a public hearing at 5 o'clock, and vote on it at 6. You're saying, oh, no, that won't. Just watch. I always put the warning signs out there. There'll be 2 public hearings for you as citizens to come speak on what you think of the charter change for Fannin County, and then they will vote. After they vote, if it passes, then the post commissioners will then have the right to be involved and vote in the hiring and dismissal of department heads. Now that's pretty big up there, because that'll be a first up there, and at the current time, department heads, all department heads, have reported and only answer to the chairman of the county, which is the CEO. So that is something you want to watch in the next couple weeks. We'll move a different direction real quick. 3 rebels. You can go on FetcherNews.com, Fannin, check out sports. There's a great article. We won't go into detail. 3 rebel wrestlers, if you're following wrestling, ride through sectionals to state wrestling. So 3 rebels ride through sectionals to state. That's on FetcherNews.com, Fannin County, under wrestling. LT Milton, our director of sports, has a great story on that. Go to our business section, and if you're a small business out there today and you want to get your shout out on Good Morning from the Office, you want to become a sponsor of Good Morning from the Office, send that to chief@fetchernews.com. Or you want to find out how to get your business news in our business section, send that to us also, and we'll be in contact with you. Go to the business section and click on Fannin Chamber February newsletter in the business section. So if you're finding out and you want to find out some things about the Fannin Chamber in February, go click on the business section and read their newsletter. The Fannin Rebels lose a heartbreaker last night. I'm getting this off of Team FYN Sports Twitter page from last night. Again, follow us for all your highlights in sports and hashtag Team FYN Sports. But the Rebels lose a heartbreaker last night, 49-48. This is Division 3A 7-3A tournament to Lumpkin County. Lumpkin put the shot up at the buzzer, 49-48, a heartbreaker. Holloway was at the line tied the game with 12 seconds. So this was a buzzer beater. We'll have all the details, highlights. We'll have the pictures up in the story today. But a buzzer beater last night, 49-48 to Lumpkin. Great season, guys, Rebels out there. That was a heartbreaker that I'm hearing. So congratulations to all your Lady Rebels and Rebels for a great season, and we wish you well. Again, we have spring sports taking place in Fannin. You have your soccer, tennis, and I'm not trying to leave track and field anybody out. Please don't let me forget nobody. Baseball. Send us your schedule, LT@FetcherNews.com. That's LT@FetcherNews.com. Send us your schedule, your highlights, and updates so we can get them on our sports section. Team FYN Sports. Now, let's get to the city of Blue Ridge, 8:15. I think we can get through this pretty quick. We're trying to do the show in an hour and a half. The city of Blue Ridge the other night. Now, I said this yesterday, and I'm going to go back. And I think this message could be to all of you out there in the city of Blue Ridge. I got a message from somebody yesterday from Florida, okay? From Florida, and they said, great show. Hey, thank you very much. They said, great show this morning. We have a home in Blue Ridge, and we have a home in Florida. So I try to tell you people out there, that are listening, great thing about the internet, we've had military men and women watch our show and look at our internet to keep up with their children all the way around the world. But the other night, some people in Florida were watching. I have made this statement to several. If you were in the audience of the Blue Ridge City Council meeting the other night, and you were in the back and nobody knew who you were, and you were a business owner or an investor, and you were looking to move to Blue Ridge, make an investment, please don't get upset with me, my friends in Blue Ridge, but the truth is I'd have probably walked out and not come back. Something has to happen. It's not my place to say it, but something has to happen, and you know it out there. Some of you on the council are up there to defend the residents. That's what you say, to defend the residents, the lifelong residents, the locals. The business owners say without them coming in and doing what they have done, the residents in the local would not be enjoying low taxes. Hey, property tax is very low in the city. If you live in the city of Blue Ridge, property tax is low. Business owners say by what they've done has helped reduce that. So there's a clash. But let me bring this up for you that don't know out there. And I'm not supporting these people. I want this disclaimer now. That FetcherNews.com is not supporting. We're not against the council members that are voting one way. We're not for the business owners. We're just asking you to think about it. A $5 million project. Now, I cover other areas, and I think if the economic development director down in Pickens County had a $5 million project laid in their lap, Jasper, Ella, I'm just saying, a $5 million project was turned down. 32 units. The owner of the project is Mr. Steve Oyer. He's also the owner of the Black Sheep Restaurant. Wow, free advertising again. That's got to stop, Mr. Oyer. But he had proposed, and he needed a zoning amendment, on zoning to do the sidewalks and curb cuts and everything for a lot on Ada Street that they were going to do 32 extended stays. Now the city council brought up, I don't remember the council person that brought it up, would the people that live there, or stayed there, not lived, let me get that correct, would the people that stayed there, would they have a separate address? There's 32, would they be 32 addresses? And they were told no, there wouldn't be 32 addresses, and it had to be an extended stay because it wasn't a motel or a hotel room. They would have full kitchens and they would be fully furnished extended stays for visitors to come up. So it comes under a classification of extended stay. You could rent it for 7 days. And I wondered why permanent addresses came up. And there, in the last election, there was a lot of talk in Blue Ridge about people voting illegally within the city limits that were not residents. Now that came up in the last election. So I wondered yesterday, why was it important to ask if there would be 32 addresses? And somebody told me yesterday that there was a concern that the business owners would put all their employees in there and have 32 votes. I thought, really? That's the thought process? So anyhow, that just perplexed me yesterday. $5 million project that would bring 32 units. The plans, I have seen the plans. They're classy units. They're not garden apartments, and nothing against an apartment. They're not going to be built. I have seen the blueprints. They're quality looking units that somebody would come up and rent walking distance of town. So they would rent a unit, walk to town, and spend all their money downtown. So they're doing projections now, and this is the Blue Ridge Taxpayer Association. I think they are. I think that's who they are. It's a new association. They're called the Blue Ridge Taxpayer Association, because you have your residents that can vote, and then you have your business owners that pay taxes that don't get to vote. So I think they formed the Blue Ridge Taxpayer Association, and they're going to do an estimate, and they told me they would get that to me. And don't forget out there, that association, they would get the projected revenue loss in sales tax revenue. So the city of Blue Ridge turned down a $5 million construction project that the owners committed to, and I was there at the meeting. They committed to purchasing all of the building materials, and they committed to buying all of the building materials that were available from Fannin County. They would spend that money in Fannin County. And the reason I say that, Mr. Oyer made if you've ever been up to the Black Sheep, if you remember that house before they remodeled it, they did a very nice job. My hat's off to them as far as what they did. But there's some trusses that he could not get locally, and he said that publicly, that the only thing in the Black Sheep that was not purchased locally was the trusses. So a $5 million project was turned down by the Blue Ridge City Council. That no vote was Angie Arp, Bruce Pack, and Rodney Kendall. Council members Rodney Kendall, Bruce Pack, and Angie Arp. Bruce Pack, when confronted, Councilman Pack said that he had went down Ada Street and talked. This is not a quote. We have the video on it. But he had talked. He made reference to several residents that did not want it, and they made reference to all the city council meetings of Blue Ridge. They don't see the people from Blue Ridge. They don't see the local residents at the meeting. So they were there, to their words, to represent the people that voted for them. And so that was turned down. Now, the reason I put it on our newscast for today to talk about it a little more is because I didn't know if people realize that a $5 million project that would be a benefit. Now, I'm not advocating it. Be clear. I'm not advocating it. All right? But I just want the people to know that a $5 million project, an economic development project in the city of Blue Ridge, was turned down the other night. Now, what's important about that is I understand through the city, I hope I'm wrong, but I understand through the city that if you were turned down by your planning and zoning, that it's 1 year before you can reapply. So my understanding is 1 year before you can reapply. And I do know that Mr. Oyer let Blue Ridge City Council know that I think when Mr. Peck, and we have the video, when Mr. Peck, Councilman Peck could not or did not start naming or telling how many people he went and talked to, when he said he talked to several residents, Mr. Royer said, get ready, tell them to get ready for their deposition, something of that nature, that he's gonna search out the ones that said they didn't want it. Now that something in a reference from Mr. Royer. He said he's going to sue the city. So, and he didn't say quote the city, but he said he was going to sue, and I would assume that has to be the city. So I think Blue Ridge, I brought it up yesterday. And when we end this program today, I'm going to do a open records request, because I don't want to say I'm tired of. Please, I'm not tired of any time the viewers or people that send me stuff. But every once in a while, I get people that send me so much stuff and say, you should see this email, you should see that email. Sometimes I just say, all right, let me do an open records request. Let me pull them in here and let me read them, okay? I'll read the emails. So I think once I get done, I'm going to read some emails or send an open records request to the city of Blue Ridge concerning some emails. I, for one, after reading several, do not see, and I can't say he's an attorney, so I don't want the attorney, I don't want to hear from the city's attorney today, but I can't see where he's, I don't know, and I'm not making any allegations, where David Sipin, the city attorney from over in Gainesville, I still get confused on why Blue Ridge City has their attorney from Gainesville that has to charge the citizens for trips both ways if he comes to the city. And if you do an open records request, City of Blue Ridge, and you see what your attorney's fees are, you will be shocked. Go find out those attorney fees. We'll ask that today. I heard them yesterday. Go see that. But I think between the city council members, the mayor, you're included, the city council members, and the attorney, that the relationship, this is what I think, is so torn between all of you, and you're so dysfunctional right now that you're not representing anybody. You're not representing the business owners. You're not representing the residents. You're not representing anybody. When you cannot make a decision to spend $250, $300 for an ice sculpture for Fire and Ice Chili Cook-Off for the city of Blue Ridge, where the mayor approved $250 or $350, and then my understanding is Councilwoman Arp said no, and now this Saturday, this awesome thing that you have up there, by the way, quick shout out, Fire and Ice. Go down this weekend, Saturday, Blue Ridge, Fire and Ice. Family fun, entertainment, a great chili cook-off contest. Great time downtown Blue Ridge. You're going to have a lot of fun. And that's an example. You have so many awesome things, but I guess there won't be an ice sculpture from the city of Blue Ridge because you couldn't decide to spend $350. Okay, now, I got stuck there, and I'm going to get back. Your relationship is so torn. My suggestion, only my suggestion is, and this is for citizens, go down, hey, business owners, citizens, you need, this is nothing against the guy. You need a new city attorney. Fresh. You don't need anybody that knows any city council member. You don't need anybody that's ever defended or represented a mayor. The mayor, you cannot have an attorney for the city of Blue Ridge that's ever represented you. Councilwoman Arp, Councilman Pack, Thomas, Harold, Kendall, you can't have a city attorney that you have ever had any personal representatives. I don't know those facts. I'm spouting it out. You need a clean city attorney in Blue Ridge. You need to come to terms that the relationship is so torn that you're not representing anybody. I don't care what argument you make. You're not representing the best interest of anybody. My opinion, my editorial, but you can't even get an ice sculpture. That should be the buck stops here, rubber meets the road, all the cliches. You can't even do an ice sculpture for $250 for Fire and Ice. Great chili cook-off, by the way. Go down to downtown Blue Ridge this weekend, and you can't. Now, the Downtown Development Authority, it is 8:29. We have to get out of here. You did not even get a second on the Downtown Development Authority. I challenged you yesterday. Do the research. Don't just not get a second. Don't just not vote no. Go get the research. Google Downtown Development Authority. Start reading Cartersville, Decatur, Rome, LJ, Blairsville. They all have them, and it allows them to borrow money. And go read them and do the research. Jack Morton got up and did a very nice, very polite. I mean, I'm not telling the city council to vote for it. I'm not. I just want to see your research. All I want to see is your research. I want you to say, we find that we can't vote on it based on this, this, and this. I'll be fine. I'll be fine either way. I'll be fine. Let me see your research. I don't like when you don't bring research to the table and you just vote. So go do the research, then vote no. If your heart still says no, and here's my reasons, then you're representing the people that elected you. That's representing them, okay? Jack Morton got up, very nice, very polite, very calm, never out of sorts, never an ugly word, gave a very nice presentation on a downtown development. I couldn't have heard anybody ask more politely and nicely saying that my heart is in this city, and he couldn't even get a second. You couldn't get a second. So that is Blue Ridge in a nutshell. I like that. That's Blue Ridge in a nutshell, because I tell you, these city council meetings are getting nuts out there. Hey, go see my friends at Mattress Overstock next to Walmart and LJ. Go see Gary, Richard, or Rhonda, the mattress lady, for the best mattress at the best price. They truly want to help you help you with a better night's sleep. Amish Furniture, Ace Hardware, Blue Ridge, Spa Glisten, their new location over in Ellington Road, Clock Tower Gifts and Boutiques. Guys, it's not too late. Downtown Jasper, it's not too late for those Valentine gifts. Hey, you want another suggestion for Valentine's? North Georgia, you can now go to Magic Touch Beauty Salon, located at Clock Tower 3. Woodbridge Inn, fried chicken today. Woodbridge Inn, Blue Plate Special. Check out our Dog of the Day on FetcherNews.com's Facebook page. Go to our Facebook page, get involved, check out everything there. Send your sports information to lt@FetcherNews.com. Check out our Dog of the Day. Dragon Corner, Bobcat Corner, Rebel Corner. Go check it out on your website, FetcherNews.com. Send us stuff so we can get involved. I need a producer 6 to 9 to help me get through this. 6 to 9, Monday through Friday. If you are interested, chief@FetcherNews.com. If you're interested in being involved or a part of Team FYN, that is Team FYN. If you want to be a part, advertising, sales, marketing, reporting, citizen journalism, send me at chief@FetcherNews.com. We got big things happening. Till tomorrow, stay classy, North Georgia, right? Okay, have a nice day. We'll be back tomorrow, 7 Live. If your friends are not watching, tell them they got to watch every morning. Good Morning from the Office with BKP. Stay classy, North Georgia.